Today, we are going to make some grass. No, I'm not in Colorado, so it's not going to be that kind of grass. It's our techniques that are so simple and sensible, your modelers have practically built themselves.
Hello folks, it's Mad Dog Merv. Welcome to the Kit Hoarder Stash. Today, well, I'm working on my 350th scale ships still. But we're not going to review a ship today, we're going to review some accessories. So just recently, I kind of finished up that USS Washington that I've been working on. And I converted it from a USS North Carolina kit that Trumpeter had, and I also needed to backdate it. To do that, well, some of the things I could scratch build, and some of the things, well, it would just be a whole lot easier if I got some resin parts or 3D parts. And 3D parts are kind of a new thing for me. Recently, excuse me, got a frog I swallowed, I don't know why. There was those parts for the Nevada and the Arizona that I ordered from one of the 3D printing companies. Come to find out, there's a couple of more out there, Kraken and Black. And today we're going to look at some of the parts that I've purchased from them, and we're going to look at the quality, and we're going to talk a little bit about them. So stick with Mad Dog Merv today as we review and look at some of the 3D printed parts in 1/350th scale from Kraken and Black models.
Recently, I finished my USS Washington in 1/350th scale. And there was a lot of, it's a trumpeter kit, so there was a lot of pieces that just looked a little bit funny, that really could use some upgrade. And besides, I was converting this from a USS North Carolina, so I was backdating quite a few things. One of the main parts of backdating is I needed some 1.1 Chicago pianos that looked really good, because again, the ones from Trumpeter just really looked crappy. So I needed to upgrade a bunch of the anti-aircraft armament on this particular model. It became very apparent to the U.S. Navy after Pearl Harbor that aircraft were the greatest threat to the ships. So they needed to have more and better anti-aircraft protection. The 1.1 Chicago piano was okay, but that evolved into a 40mm Bofors. The 50 caliber just Modus did not have the range or stopping power, and that evolved into the 20mm Olicon that you see here. So I've got to upgrade a bunch of weapons on this particular ship. Well, I say upgrade, but I more or less mean backgrade. So here are some 20mm Olicon cannons that I have ordered to replace the ones from the kit, and you can see these look really, really nice. They're all over the deck of the Washington, and pretty much everything after the early part of 42 had these guns on board. In late 1941, the ship started getting the 1.1 Chicago pianos, and here is the Trumpeter version of that, and you can see this thing is just woefully bleh. So I need to upgrade to a much better looking one, and I'm not going to scratch build. So Kraken Hobbies is a company that I've used for some other items before. The bridge of the Oklahoma for one, and you can see that 3D printed bridge, how nice that is. They put out some really good products. They also have a bridge for the Washington, a correct bridge for late 1942 Washington, but I decided to go ahead and scratch build mine because I think I could do the modifications. But you see they have a very nice piece there. And here are their 1.1 Chicago pianos. Ah, yes, definitely going to need to get some of these on order. You can see once I got them, the difference between the kit and the 3D printed, it's just enormous. Here they are installed, and they look pretty darn good on the Washington. The one thing I found about these guns, however, is that they are very brittle, so you have to be very careful taking them off the wafer. They also offer these gun tubs for the bow 20mm on the Washington, which were unique. And there's another picture here of after the collision with the Indiana, and you can see what those tubs look like. So, very nice picture. I don't want to scratch build those. I could, but I don't want to, especially since Kraken has them available, and here they are. And yes, they look fabulous. Again, they're very, very brittle. They're thinner than a potato chip, and they are far more brittle than a potato chip. So we'll talk about that again in a minute. Here's the order that I got from them, packaged very nicely, and one of the directors I also got with the radar on top of it. Absolutely worth the price, folks. These are absolutely worth the price. You can see installed here on the Washington, those tubs, they look beautiful. Now, they're very brittle, like I said, and I accidentally bumped one of them as I was moving the model around and doing some work, and it just, yeah, it's like with a potato chip, and I couldn't find the little parts. So I had to repair it, which wasn't that big of a deal. I got it taken care of, and it turned out okay. You can see here on the very, very far right-hand side, I had made the repair, and it doesn't look like it's been repaired. It looks good. So anyway, I needed a good gun director for those 1.1s. Now the Mark 49 director, it's very unique. Doesn't seem to come in any kit. So what am I going to do? I had thought about fabricating some from some 1/700 scale Japanese anti-aircraft guns that I had that were a similar shape, but we're going to have to look and see if somebody offers them, because Kraken does not. And it didn't take me long to find somebody that did. These Cal 50s that I had purchased from Black Cat Hobbies a while back, and these are excellent 50 cals for like the battleships on Battleship Row, because they still had the 50 cals. So I went to Black Cat, and I got the Black Cat through Free Time Hobbies. So they're a distributor for the Black Cat models, which is out of England. And they have quite an offering of parts and pieces and accessories for 1/350th and other scales, but 1/350th ships. And sure enough, they had a Mark 49 director. Look at that. Oh, I'm in business. So my 1.1s that are looking good will have the proper director in each tub. Yay! That was a pretty big score for me. And here they are. I've already taken one off to install it, and they do look good. They don't have the little radar on them, and that's fine. That's a little bit later version of them. I like this one right here just fine. It's going to work. Now here's my 1.1s, my directors on the aft end of the ship, and I think they look good. However, you can see if you look really closely on the 1.1s, the end of the barrels have been broken off on this near one, all of them. And again, very, very brittle, and just a little bump is all it took, and poof, the barrels were gone. So I can fix that, but yeah, that's the pits. The one thing that I got from Black Cat was these 3D printed sailors. There's like 60 or 70 of them per group, and the price is right. A whole lot better than photo etched sailors, and so I went ahead and picked me some up because, well, with especially my Pearl Harbor ships, I want to have some people on board. Now, to be fair, Black Cat also offers a 1.1 Chicago piano, and here's theirs. Very, very nice rendering. I didn't find out about this till after I had gotten the ones from Kraken. And here is their 20mm Oerlikon, which, again, I've ordered a bunch of 20mm for my Washington, and here is how the Washington turned out. As you can see, I've still got to rig it, and I've still got to add some photo etch, but the weapon systems are pretty much done. I'm just waiting on the 20mm to put in their place, and they are going to look spectacular with the rest of the armament. Okay, folks, hope this was helpful. Thanks for joining us for the Stash this week.